y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 249? Dang it, I really don't know.
Nailed it.
Yeah?
Nailed it. Yep, 249.
Yeah, I had to look
right?
it up. It's 249.
Yeah, that is correct.
249. All right. Yes, sir, and okay.
All right, we're off to a good start.
All right.
We got this.
Here we are. And dang it.
Right?
It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken. Of course, and as always, we're talking games and life and games, and we are no longer looking into each other's eyes.
Oh, man.
Stinks,
we are no
man.
longer not fist bumping people.
Exactly. And picking up the slack for people not fist bumping.
You know, I
people.
totally didn't even see that he did that, but when you watch the 360 video, it's so obvious. I'm like, how did I miss that he was trying to do that?
I just liked replaying it, watching everyone's different expression as it went down.
That's what's the funnest thing about the 360 cam, I feel like, is like, and I mean, maybe we'll release it on Discord because it makes it easy, but you don't get to see, like, when I did the mark, it feels like it scares Chris a little bit because I clap really loud.
Well, yeah, I wasn't expecting
you
it. You got a loud clap, man.
I do have
awesome.
a loud clap. I have big hands.
That ain't no joke.
I'm serious about my clapping.
Oh, yeah.
I
Big
want
hands make
people to feel,
make loud clap.
yeah, I want people to feel the love.
Yes.
So
we felt it.
we're all separate. Me and Tim are back in Nashville. Chris is back in Texas. Ed is back in Indiana. And, you know,
It stinks.
been riding the wave this last week.
Right?
Been riding the wave of emotions
That's right, man.
of like, oh my gosh, that was like one of the best things ever. And it's over.
Yeah.
Just
And
like
we're
that.
back home. Ed has a cough again.
No.
I know.
You
It's
do?
weird. I don't know
man.
what's going on.
It was the smog.
You're welcome. I gave it,
It
to
was
you.
it was the smog. It was the...
He's
I
allergic
think
to
it's-
not being with us.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. I'm going through withdrawal symptoms.
Exactly. Tell us about your week before we get into this whole thing.
Oh man, it's been a good week. Like you said, such a good time together out at E3. The day after we recorded, or a couple days after that Friday, everyone else took off, and Stancil and Gil and I went to E3 one more time.
Thursday.
Thank you. And
Yes.
just had a really nice time. It was still really busy, which I guess sort of surprised me. I thought for sure by the third day, people will be tired. The general public will be over the fact that it's not a cosplay convention and that it's a 5-hour line for everything.
Yes.
Not the case. I think there was more cosplay on that third day than there were the previous two.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
really?
I know. So it was a little interesting, but we just kind of wandered around a little bit. Stancil
Was there a
introduced me
reason
to.
you guys went back? Were you guys just trying to...
Yeah, I don't feel like I knew that you guys were going to, I mean, not that it matters, but I was like, oh, they went back another day. I just thought y'all were going to run around town that day.
Yeah, I did too.
Stancil had gotten a message from, let me pick up this name here, Troy Baker.
Oh, that
That's
guy.
a heavy one. Did you have to
Excuse
use both
Ugh.
hands or just one?
I did. I had to remember to lift with my
Lift
knees.
with the
and
legs.
not-
Yeah. Don't use your
Interesting.
back.
Interesting.
That
Never
one's a
heard of
heavy
him.
I know. But the day before, on Wednesday, Troy had been doing a talk
Jeez.
at the Bethesda booth.
Right.
And Stancil texted him, and we were trying to say hello to him. And then Wednesday night, he got a message from Troy saying, "Oh man, sorry I missed your message. It was a crazy day. I might be back tomorrow. If you'll be there, let me know." So we thought, well, what the heck? We'll give it a shot. So we went back.
Well, he's worth it.
Right? Yeah, Stancil.
You know what I'm saying?
and-
Like, if you're gonna go back for somebody, Troy Baker
Yeah.
is on that list.
definitely
Of people
definitely.
you make it happen for.
And as we know, Stancil and Troy worked together on Second Son and and what have you, and so they knew each other. And so Stancil, it was cool because for me it was maybe a chance to meet Troy Baker,
Yeah,
and
of
for
course.
Stancil it was a chance to just see a friend again.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it was really nice. Ended up not seeing him. It didn't work out, but I did get to meet. His name was Josh, I think, and he was one of the writers of Uncharted 4 and the new Uncharted game coming out. And so it was
He's the guy me and Chris saw.
Yeah. The guy that
bald-headed guy?
spoke. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Really
Yeah,
nice
he seemed
guy.
like a really cool guy.
Yeah. So I just like watching Stancil meet his old friends again and get to talk with them again and stuff like that. So as cool as it was for me to get to meet him, that guy, I mean, he doesn't know who I am, but it was just cool seeing him and Stancil talk and reunite. And so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We weren't there for too long and decided, oh, that's right, we should go to In-N-Out instead. So we went to In-N-Out.
Oh, man. You guys so bad.
And it was nice. From there, we went to the airport, and we were on our way. And it was just such a good E3 week, and just left jazzed and excited about the games that are coming out, and kind of bummed that there really wasn't anything that was like, and it's released today.
Yeah.
Kind of, I told Sarah, it was sort of a bummer leaving knowing that it's still going to be a little bit of a wait before I can play some of the games that I want. I think maybe late August is the earliest game, and I don't even remember which one it was, but I feel like it's still a couple
Lost
months
Legacy
away.
comes out like the 22nd of August.
Yes, that's what it
I know it
is.
was that one.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's
so-
other ones too, but
Right.
But you're right. Yeah, there was nothing like right away. I mean, there's probably something, but just nothing
Right.
we were excited about.
some
Yeah,
developers
exactly.
like crying right now, and they're like, "Oh, the games guys don't remember me."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and one of them, there was a little booth there was a little indie section, and one of the companies there was a place called Brain and Brain or Brain and Brain, something like that, and they had a little mobile game called
They were
Burly
zombies.
I know, right? Eating and eating.
Brain and brain.
It was a spinoff from the Animaniacs.
Exactly.
It's
Brian
Brainy and
Brian.
the brain.
They had a little mobile game called Burly Men at Sea that is available now, and it's not a game so much as it is just kind of a cool little story. The art style is very similar to very simplistic, very similar to Monument Valley.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So kind of that style. So I just like it visually. It's a cool little project they put together there.
Nice.
Cool.
And you've been playing it a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, it's been nice. It's definitely more of a story than it is a game. So you just kind of, it's very relaxing and just kind of, it's pleasant to look at and just kind of puts you in a nice little mood. So
Nice.
it's a nice little thing to, jump into here and there.
Not mad at that.
No, can't be.
I mean, it could be.
I did like your tweet with the image from when you were playing Family Guy of Adam West, R.I.P.
Yeah, that was a really cool thing the game did. Just kind of send a little R.I.P. Adam West. Here's a commemorative Adam West statue for your little town.
I'm trying to think of how long he's been with Family Guy. I think it's been
Since the beginning.
Yeah, I think so, right?
I think so, yeah.
They introduced him as the mayor season 1,
I mean,
right?
maybe they wouldn't, maybe they didn't. Like, maybe I'm not remembering right, but I feel like he's been there almost since I feel like he was the mayor
I'm with you.
always.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that was an early shtick of like, hey, we've got Adam West as the mayor of Quahog.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I thought that was a cool little thing they did.
Nice.
I got home and I guess let's see, how did they go? Our schedules got so crazy. I was supposed to pick up Sarah from the airport the next day on Friday and was supposed to drive back down to Indy to get her. Her plane was delayed, and it was such a delay that it would make her miss her connecting flight. So she ended up staying over in Dallas. And I said, "Hey, the McCrackens are there. You guys should get together for dinner." And then I realized, oh, that's right. And a little bit of a spoiler for Chris is going to a concert that night. And it was a concert that Sarah was genuinely bummed that she couldn't go to as well. But
That's
again,
awesome.
I'll let Chris talk about who it was.
I was actually really bummed out too. I was like, "Oh man!" And just so happened that my dad was going to the concert with us and was staying at our house, so our one free room. Because I was like, I would have offered up the room anyways, you know.
Yeah.
To be
Right.
like, hey, well, I mean, we won't be there, but if you want to stay, sure. You know, I've never met you, but you're basically family.
There you go. See,
And I was bummed that we couldn't. I mean, good on them because I think Ed had told us that they were like taking care of her. The airline was, but
yeah,
I wish we could have helped out in some way.
Oh no, it was and that just gives us another excuse to get back there and see you guys in person and give her a chance to meet you guys. So yeah, she got back in on. She was supposed to get in then on Saturday. We were supposed to go visit some friends of ours from Lancaster in Pittsburgh, And instead, Sarah just flew directly to Pittsburgh. They kind of hooked her up that way so she wouldn't have to, she kind of overheard our conversation. So I just drove to Pittsburgh, met Sarah there. And that was nice. I didn't have to drive to Indy, then to Pittsburgh, and met some friends of ours. Had never been to Pittsburgh before to see the city and what have you, and was very drunk. And
sweet,
lots of drunk people on cliffs and ledges where they shouldn't be drunk.
Jeez Louise.
So I know. So it was I don't know. It was Saturday night, but it was very drunk as well.
Well, and everyone's just still celebrating probably from the Stanley Cup, from the Penguins winning the Stanley Cup. So you never know. But I would assume that's kind of every weekend anyway. So if I know Pennsylvania, like I think I know Pennsylvania, that's pretty much every weekend.
Yeah, there you go. Game wise, I put a little poll up on Twitter just because there are so few games.
Because you felt like being rebellious against something.
I did.
Been rebellious in like a week's time.
Because there's such a lull between the new games, it's a great chance to go back and play catch up. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, there's a new Assassin's Creed coming out. I just got Assassin's Creed 3 from Games with Gold. And I thought, well, I haven't touched that yet. I haven't touched Assassin's Creed Revolutions. I didn't play that one yet. That's another one I got on Games with Gold, and I thought maybe I should just go all the way back to the beginning and play them straight through, and then continue playing all of them.
Yes.
And so then by the time the new one comes out, I'll be all set and ready to go, and what have you. And put a poll up, and I think 59% of the people said no, it's horrible, and it's the worst game in the world. You don't want to play it. Don't do it.
Which is weird. They were very harsh.
They were very harsh.
There's a lot of people who do not like 1.
To the point that it almost seemed like anger.
Well, here's the problem.
Tell me.
They're slanted because the other ones have come out now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so
right.
I would think back in the day it was great.
Yeah, everybody's big critique was that 1 is extremely boring and extremely repetitive. Yeah. Now, yes, it is extremely repetitive. It's painfully repetitive. And the big thing was they fixed that in 2, and 2's not as repetitive. 2 is repetitive too. And so, I mean, it's still climb the thing, get the map, go do the icons.
Yeah,
I mean,
2 is just a little more from people that I've heard, because I haven't played either 2, but people are like 2 is just way more, it just opened up so much more and gave you so much more. You still have to do a lot of repetitive stuff, but amongst the repetitive stuff, you have all this new stuff that you'd never done, whereas it, like 1, they say is like very much rinse and repeat over and over and over. And I thought the setting for 1 always intrigued me. I was like, I think the setting's cool. Jerusalem, that seems awesome to be playing in Assassin's Creed. Feels like that's a perfect place for it to be.
Yep.
So I always wanted to go back, but so many people have always told me, dude, just don't do it. And as much as I don't like going backwards, I was like, if this many people who like the franchise are telling me don't do it, I'm just not even touching it. So
I didn't even realize I was in Jerusalem.
Nice.
Like I genuinely thought I was in medieval times.
Nice.
Well, I don't know if the entire game is set there, but I know part of it is at least.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And you know what? It's not too bad.
Right.
I think especially going in knowing that people think it's the worst game in the world, or, you hear all this horrible stuff. You don't go in with very high expectations.
Right.
And,
yeah, that's true.
And one thing I have liked is that I feel like I sort of understand the Animus now, which I never have.
Yes.
I started with Black Flag, and so I had no idea what the Animus was, and, they're not going to explain everything over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had a hard time following it, and I don't mind it. It froze up on me twice, and so that's why I haven't gone back to it yet. I'm just like, oh, come on.
Is it a backwards compatible game? Is that how you're playing it?
Yeah, it was. It's a 360 compatible one on the Xbox One. So I'm not mad at it. Everything's different, of course. The controls are different and things are different, but I'm kind of looking forward to seeing each jump from title to title to title. So I'll probably go back into it and play some more. And
I wonder why it's freezing up.
I don't know. It's kind of a couple games have done that to me on the Xbox where it just kind of the
Are they
screen
all
freezes.
backwards compatible games that you're having the issue with?
I can't remember if they have been or not. I definitely feel like they have been older games, so that might be the case.
Yeah,
because it's emulating, so it could just be an issue with that. Maybe.
Right. Yeah. I also went back and for the first time played Infamous First Light, the DLC for Second Son.
Yes, I was so happy to see
awesome,
you streaming that.
Oh my gosh, that was such a good time. It made me, man, it's such a nice. Stancil had said, because I said, I want to play Second Son again. And he said, actually play First Light first. And he was right. The ending of First Light dovetails so nicely with the opening of Second Son.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just, it leads right into, you're like, oh, and here's the opening scene of Second Son. It's really nice how they do it.
Did you feel at all what I was saying about my disappointment with Uncharted Lost Legacy as a standalone DLC and then comparing that to First Light?
Oh, well, I guess you're asking Ed.
Yes, thank you, Chris. We know your thoughts.
Yes, we get it, Chris.
I'll make my point when you're done.
I understood why you were saying it, and I understand where you're coming from. I don't have the same problem. It doesn't matter that, I just thought it was neat to and I liked Fetch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of neat to go deeper into a character that didn't get a lot of attention, or not a lot of attention. She was a main character, but you really get a backstory on her. They filled you in a little bit in Second Son, but I liked going in a little bit deeper.
Actually meeting her brother and all that.
Yeah. So it was really cool to get into that.
It's good DLC. People should play
really
it.
Is.
If you like Infamous
how long
Light.
is that, Ed?
I think I finished it in 2 hour-and-a-half sessions. So
nice.
Just a little more than 3 hours.
Yeah, the story-wise, it's not like ridiculously long or anything. And then they have the whole arena part where you can go back because there's lots of different challenges and things. And that's one of the, I think it's one of the few standalone DLCs that actually has a platinum trophy if you want to go for it.
Oh yeah, that's right. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been nice. So yeah, I had a really good time with that. I was really happy with it. And it was just nice to get into that world again and be like, man, this game, I forgot how fun this world was to run around in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good time. And then, of course, Overwatch, when I could get it in, I had a great time last night. Actually jumped in with Chris and Stacy was on. And
oh my gosh.
Stacy rocks at Mercy.
What
she
the heck
is killing
really?
It. Yes. So much fun. We had such a good time. Lem was in for a little bit. Gil was there with us.
Yeah, for a bit.
And man, it was just a lot of fun. It was just cool to connect and talk to Stacy again. You know, it's been since 200 since we chatted. And so yeah, it was just a good evening with friends.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah. Good week.
Chris.
So on the flight back from E3, I started feeling like I'd gotten a bit of an E3 plague. I started feeling a little bit sick. Now, I was grateful because, I mean, hey, if I'm going to get sick, on the flight home is when it needs to appear.
Exactly.
Not when I'm out in LA having fun and going and trying games.
That's like catching a cold from the pretty girl because you finally got to kiss her.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, I ain't mad at that.
You're like, well, she is the hottest girl at school. I'll deal with the sneezes.
I'll take
There you
it.
go.
Well, I remember, Chris, you said that you had a headache even that morning because you had asked for Tylenol or Advil or something. I'm like,
yeah, I did get, it was either that day or the day before, or it might have been both days. I don't remember. I do remember waking up with a bit of a headache, and I don't remember. But once I took something, it went away. So I don't know that if they were related or not. I just felt like I could tell on the flight, something's amiss. I'm probably gonna start feeling sick. Like my throat wasn't sore, but I could feel it was different, and so I knew something was coming. And then that Friday I had off, and by the time I'd gotten home that night from the flight, it was kind of already starting to hit, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm not feeling well. And then, so I took some NyQuil, and then Stacy had to actually go to work that Friday. I thought she had taken off, but she didn't. So I slept in until like 10 or something. I got up for maybe an hour and a half, and I went back to sleep until like 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
good, man. Good for you. It's your body needs.
It basically worked out for me really well, because when I got up, my dad came over, because he was going to be going to the concert with Stacy and I, and then Stacy left work a little bit early. So around 5, they were both at the house, and we were just kind of we ate dinner real quick, and then we headed over to Cowboy Stadium, which is about 10 minutes from where I live, because we were going to the Metallica concert.
Hey,
you
were
rocking out.
And I took some Dayquil, and I was like, the main reason that I went back to bed, I mean, obviously I was tired, but I was like, you know what? I want to sleep as much as I can because I do not want to get tired tonight. I don't care what happens. I'm pushing through. And so I just took some Dayquil, and I was fine. I mean, I could still tell, something was amiss, but I didn't feel like totally drained throughout the show by any means. And there were two opening acts. One was some local band, was the very first one. Yeah, it was
Metallica had two opening bands?
Yeah.
That is weird to me.
I mean, I say that. The very first act that played is like the minute doors open, there's somebody there playing, kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's not like, people are just getting in and most people are still like out in the front, buying merch and just chatting.
They had
and whatnot.
walk-in music as a live band.
Yeah, essentially.
Right.
And I didn't catch the band's name. And it was weird because it was only a guitarist and a drummer. There was no bass player. There's no nothing else. I was like, that's different.
And tracks
and then
or something?
the actual opening band was Avenged Sevenfold.
Nice.
They did a pretty good job. I was kind of walking around. I didn't get to check or really pay too much attention to a lot of their stuff. We had other friends. I had friends from work that were also going to shows. So when they got there, I met up with and chatted with them, introduced them to my dad and whatnot for a little bit. And then Metallica went on about right before 9:00, and I think they played for about a good solid 2 hours.
Wow.
So,
nice.
yeah, and that was, the show, and then, come back for 3 or 4 songs for an encore. And it was awesome. And I've kind of mentally in my head, because I've been to a lot of their concerts. I've been to about 10 or 11 now.
Is that right?
I kind of have a list of songs that I've heard, and ones that be like, oh yeah, I've heard this one live. They don't play it very often or whatever. Outside of the new stuff off their most recent album, there really wasn't anything I hadn't heard, except they did this one song. I think it's the only song they've ever done for a movie before, on a soundtrack of a movie. They did this song called I Disappear for I think it was Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack. And at this one point in the show, just the lead guitarist Kirk Hammett and the bassist Robert, they came out and they just kind of played together, jammed, so there wasn't any vocals or anything like that, but they played an entire song, and they played that song, I Disappear. And I thought that was really cool because I'd never heard it live, and I didn't think it was one of those ones you would ever have them play in a concert. And they didn't officially play it because there wasn't lead vocal, or there wasn't vocals and all that kind of stuff. But it was kind of neat to be able to check box that on me, oh, yep, there's another one of their catalog songs that I've heard before.
Oh, that's
my
cool.
My dad had a great time. Stacy had never seen him before. My dad has seen him one other time with me, and Stacy hadn't seen them, so to finally be able to, so she could say oh yeah, I've been to one of their concerts, because she'll go driving, or when she's out of town, she'll be in the car, they'll be driving to work or on their off day or whatever, and some Metallica song will come on, and she'll record a little video of her jamming out to it and then send it to me.
That's great.
So it was kind of fun for her to actually be able to jam out listening to the band right there while we're there together. So that was fun.
That's awesome.
It was a great show. If anybody has any interest in them and you get a chance, they come to your town, you got to go see them. Because I think they're in their 50s now, but they still are just rocking it, man. It's just doing a great job. And it feels
and his mic was working and everything?
Yeah, everything worked fine. So it was good.
There we go.
I do want to see them. That is one artist I would like to see.
I'm sure they're coming somewhere close to Nashville if they haven't already.
I think the closest is Atlanta, I think.
Oh, really?
I'll check their tour schedule again.
Maybe they're coming to Disney and you can put those together.
There you go.
Disney and Metallica. What a wonderful combination.
Outside of that, on Sunday, we went. So since Friday, I went to the show with my dad. That was kind of, in a way, our Father's Day thing. So on Sunday, we went to Stacy's grandfather's house up in North Texas. And her mom and dad came down, and her brother, and we just kind of hung out with family there.
Nice.
So that was a good... It takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get up there, and then we're there about 4 or 5 hours, and then 2 hours to come back. So it basically was all day that we were out there. My stepfather, I think on maybe late Saturday night, ended up started getting real dizzy and kind of having these. I don't know if you would call them. I don't think they'd be chills, but kind of shaking, not uncontrollably, but shivering in a way, I guess you might say. And so my mom took him to the hospital, and he ended up being there all the way through and didn't go home until sometime on Monday.
Oh, wow.
They ended up doing like all these different tests under the sun to kind of figure out maybe what might be wrong with him. And they kind of determined that it's, I don't remember the actual name of it, some type of something vertigo, or possibly it could be, I think it's called Meniere's disease, which is, they're all inner ear related stuff. So everything that they checked, they're like, look, everything here seems to check out. You'll need to go to, like, if it is these two things we're thinking it possibly could be, you better off going to an ear doctor, like that specializes in this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure when he's gonna get in for that, but it's possible that it could be one of those two things. And Meniere's disease, I don't know a ton about it, but I do know it's like it's not curable. It's one of those things where they can only treat the symptoms and kind of keep it at bay. But we know our pastor at our church actually deals with that, and it's one of those things where, like, I think they call it like an episode or whenever it happens, but it can put you down all day long, and it can
I believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy stuff. So we're really hoping that that's not the case. But when the symptoms for the two things they said could possibly be the issue, kind of go across each other. So it's like, well, it could be either or kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, the good thing is that everything's fine now. He's good, and he's good. They were able to kind of treat his symptoms and get him feeling fine. And he actually was probably good middle of Sunday, but it's just, my mom was like, well, but if you don't know what it is yet, it's like, if we go home and something happens again, we're just gonna be back here. Can you just do whatever other tests you have in your little arsenal there, you think? Because they were like, oh, we could try these other things, but since he's good now, he could be released. She's like, well, no, just test for everything so we can figure out what it is. And then, so he basically just had to stay there to finish out all that stuff. But he seems to be doing well now. Hopefully soon we'll have some more concrete answers. But everything seems to be on the up and up at the moment, so there's good news there.
Well, that's good, man.
Outside of that, it's just been getting back in the swings of work, man. That first day back Monday was dragging because I was just like, man, it's when you're off for a week, even if you're just staying home for a week, it's just so hard to get back into a rhythm of, now I got to do things. And,
right.
I can't just do what I want.
Sucks.
Yeah.
So that first day was a little bit of a drag, but I'm well into the swings of back into routine of doing things. Everything feels normal again. But with all the, not feeling well and then, the busy weekend that I had, I really haven't played much gaming wise. I have played a little bit of Hearthstone here and there because it's easy to just pick it up on my phone or whatnot. And then obviously I played Overwatch. I played a little bit with Stacy on, I think it was Sunday night was the first time that she kind of jumped in with me. And then last night when we played with Ed and everybody else was the next time. And she's really enjoying it, which is, and I was talking to her last night. I was like, look, we've played games together. I mean, we've played Overcooked and, enjoyed that. We played a little bit of Don't Starve together, even though her and our friend Katie they worked better on that game. Her and I have played it, and I've had fun playing with her, and of course the Jackbox stuff and whatnot. But out of everything that we've played together, I've gotten the most joy playing Overwatch with her because
that's great.
Just to hear her getting giddy and being happy that she's on the top player cards at the end and all that stuff, and like, oh, I got a loot box, and like describing what's in it and trying to say the names of the different characters as they're on her screen, and her saying them 5 times, trying Torbjorn, just listening to her say all the things.
Toblerone.
I put a little video on my Twitter.
Oh my gosh!
That I edited like in the PS4's like a little share factory thing, little editing suite because I'd never used it. I was like, I want to try to use this, and I put it on there. And she was her character was crouched and she's just walking around. And I was like, babe, you got to uncrouch. You're crouched because you're going real slow. And she's like, I don't know how to do that.
This is so great.
And it was one of those things that was so hilarious to me that like I was like. I just had to laugh at it. And then when we were done, I was like, oh, you push circles. She's like, oh, now you tell me. And then I sandwiched it with another clip where we were playing this game and it was really close and we came down to the wire and our team ended up winning. And I ended up getting play of the game and she got all excited to see me play the game. And just all that kind of stuff is so cute. And I can't get enough of it. So
and you guys are playing in separate rooms or in the same room?
She's in the living room and I'm in my office.
Gotcha.
Those are the only 2 TV screens that we have, so we've got to be separated by rooms.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, if we're gonna play, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad that she's enjoying it so far. And I don't like push the issue. I'm not like, hey, you want to play tonight? I kind of wait until she either brings it up, or if it's been a while, I'll be like, hey, you interested in playing? And she's always been down to go for it. And last night we even, because she's kind of gotten a little bit of what I had when I came back from E3. she's just now starting to kind of feel a little bit under the weather. So kept telling her, I was like, hey, we don't have to play very long. And I think we ended up playing for 2.5 hours or something like that.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to playing more of that with her. But that's pretty much it, I think.
Nice, man.
Router.
Man, I've missed you guys. Oh, yeah. It's just such a great week last week. I just have this early week. I've been saying, this time last week I was trying to get into Ubisoft with Noah and just like reliving it all. It was so much fun, and then listening to the podcast too was just great, man. So thank you guys. It was just so much fun.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to it. Piper's topic of the week: American Ninja Warrior. It is back.
Oh,
people.
yes, it is.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that show's back on now?
Man, I love it. It's just so great. In the summertime, it's American Ninja Warrior, and she loves that show. Like, she knows some of the people now, and she's like, oh, I remember him. And she's very concerned that Travis Rosen is on because he's our local boy here. I haven't seen him yet, but somebody else on Discord said that he was in the preliminaries. So he's kind of our local boy, and I didn't know if he was going to come back from last year because he dropped out of the finals. He fell or something like that.
Yeah.
So, she's loving it. So on Mondays, we've been watching American Ninja Warrior.
That's funny. I had it on the other day too, and Amara, like, I guess, I don't know, she didn't like hear it down the hallway, but she was just kind of walking down the hallway. She saw the TV. She goes, oh my gosh, I love this show. And I was like, oh yeah.
That's so great. I know, it's so much fun, and the kids love it, and it's also very inspiring. There's amazing stories on there too.
Mm-hmm. Did I ever tell you guys that I was in the LAX airport and saw Brent Stephenson and
Casey?
No
way, really?
Yeah, and back when they were still dating, and I was going to, I don't remember what I was going to, but I was by myself. It might have been E3 a couple years ago, and they were headed out to LA to do some of the Ninja Warrior stuff. And I called Jenny because me and her watched that show all the time together, and I was like, Casey and Brent are like standing right next to me. And she was like, say something. I was like, no, number one. And because what do you say? And then, and so I'm just kind of standing there, and Casey comes up to me and she goes,
are you Darius Rucker?
I know, right? And she said, hey, do you know which, like, cause we're in baggage claim. She's like, do you know which one we're supposed to be at? And I was like, jump high and run fast, and you're cute and small, and here's your boyfriend, and we watched the both of you. No, I didn't say that. I was like, I don't know. I think we're supposed to go over to this one. And so it was like this weird moment where like she hung with me for a while, and like and then like Brent came
respond?
Up. And then we kind of like walk over there together, and like on the inside, I'm like, yeah, American Ninja Warrior. And on the outside,
so
I acted like I had no idea who she was and why this strange lady was talking to me.
That's
so
hilarious.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
It was funny.
So yeah, Piper's back into that show. Happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hope everyone had a good day. I had a fun day. We went. I went to go see my dad because he was just still at the house, and so got to see mom and dad for a little bit. And even though I wasn't supposed to hug him, I'm like, hey, I'm hugging my father on Father's Day.
Exactly.
Poor guy. He's losing his hair big time.
Yeah.
And so we've just been saying,
but
hey,
he said he's bald already.
Yeah, he pretty much is bald already. So it's not that big of a difference.
It's probably a bigger deal to him than it is to everybody else. To him, he
maybe.
probably looks crazy different. Like, have you ever like barely chipped your tooth, and then you feel like your whole smile looks different? Nobody else
then
notices?
You're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
my entire mouth looks different.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I got to spend a little time with him, and then we went and saw Captain Underpants, which was awesome.
Oh, how
nice.
was it? It was good.
It's really funny. Yeah, I really like it. Piper enjoyed it, and
Is that a movie?
We went to the. Yeah, it's a movie.
It's an animated movie. Yeah.
Kevin Hart, Ed Helms, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was really funny. So we all had a good time there, and then just came back to the house, and mom had made some dinner for us. It was all good. So Father's Day was awesome. And yeah, man, just getting back in the swing of things, just work and hanging out. My dad goes back in. They actually delayed it another 5 days because since he went into the hospital, they want him to kind of his body to recover as much as possible. So they're giving him an extra 5 days before his next chemo treatment. So he will go in this next Monday or Tuesday. And so that's good. I'm kind of glad they did that just so that he can rest up. His counts are good. All of his white blood cell counts and platelets and stuff, everything's looking good.
Good.
I had to pick up my aunt. My aunt came down, which is my mom's sister. She came down last night, so I picked her up from the airport, and so we were chatting for a while, and I got to see them again. And he looks really good. He's up walking around, which is good. So we're trying to encourage him to keep doing that, just to not just sit around like a hermit, but get up and move around. I think that's really helpful. So so that's great on all fronts. So
Good.
On the gaming front, man, got right back into Witcher, and man, it's taken a really weird twist, and I'm like, okay, I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it's still kind of cool. Spoiler alert! I'll just for the next 2 minutes, just because I have to talk about it. So you end up entering into this Fables book. And it's like this totally different world. You get to Roach is now a unicorn, which is pretty hilarious.
Oh,
like
what?
The way they
Your
did,
horse?
Yeah, it's weird. Like the way they did it, because for me, like Witcher's always like, it's like Skyrim. It's serious. It's like whatever. And then they totally took it a different way. So you go into this book and you end up battling like the three little pigs, and you end up battling
the world.
You end up battling the big bad wolf from Red Riding Hood.
So when you say that, do you mean like
you fight them?
The Witcher version of them, or are they still cartoony looking?
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's a Witcher version of like the three little pigs are like these overgrown like hogs that like come at you like a normal beast would in Witcher.
Okay. There we go.
And like you go up to the tower, to Goldilocks' tower, and she's hanging there by her own hair, and you're like, well, this got dark real fast.
Oh,
and I'm
my gosh.
like, and you have to defeat her spirit. It took a really weird turn, and I did not expect it because I haven't read up on any of it, and so, but I kind of like it, and I kind of like, why did they put that in there?
Yeah,
but it's all good. I did end up it looks like I was close to the end, and I got some sort of end result, and I'm like, I was talking to Kabowski on the morning crew, and he's like, yeah, I got the same ending, or he was talking about I got the bad ending, so I'm like. So I'm actually going to go back from one of my save points and try a different way and see if there's another ending. So that's why on the stream yesterday I put I think it was part 12 and I put ending number 1 because after I streamed I'm like I think I'm going to go back and try it, and I started doing it for a little bit. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a totally different way that this could end. So I backed it up a little bit, and I think tomorrow morning I'm going to try and stream it and get the different ending. But I think I'm nearing the end.
I was going to say, are you saying a different ending to the game or just to this section?
To this DLC.
Okay, gotcha.
So you didn't have to go all the way to the beginning to change the ending?
No. After there's like a fairly larger boss scene, and so right at that scene is where I saved it, and then there's a lot of QuickTime events and a lot of story. So and there's some decisions that you can make, and I kind of skipped around, so I want to change those decisions. And then go from there. But yeah, I was not expecting that really weird, like alternate Fables twist. But it's kind of cool. I like I said, I still don't know how I feel about it because it doesn't feel Witcher, but it kind of feels Witcher. So
you know what's funny too? You know, a lot of those Fables we've grown to love as the Disney versions, but a lot of them are very dark.
Yeah, they are.
Pinocchio. I went and read Pinocchio a couple years ago.
It's super dark.
And it is real dark. Like. It's funny because, like, Jiminy Cricket obviously is not Jiminy Cricket in the original Pinocchio story. He's just a talking cricket. Right. And he's only in, like, one part of the story. And in the story, Pinocchio kills him.
Nice.
Really?
He gets frustrated
he steps on him?
He gets frustrated with him and throws a shoe at him or something like that, meaning just to hit him, and it ends up squishing him.
Oh, that's awesome, and that's I could see that totally in Witcher. By the way,
that's what I was saying. They probably just with the dark side of the
right.
So when you first go into this alternate world, the first thing you see is Hansel and Gretel, and you have to fight the witch. It's just, and she's like really haggard looking, and just it's kind of cool because you're like, I'm battling the witch, and I'm battling the big bad wolf, and I'm battling the three little pigs.
Interesting.
And, look, there's Rapunzel hanging by her own hair in her tower. I was like, what is going on? Oh, yeah. And the Goldilocks and the Three Little Bears. And Goldilocks is sitting there with like her throat slit, sitting on the next to the table.
The heck?
Next to the table where the porridge is. Dude, I'm telling you, I was like, what is going on? But this is kind of cool. But I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, I don't want to get any more grief for Metal Gear.
Yeah, no. I mean, Metal Gear is a whole nother level of crazy. But this is
it's
crazy.
not anything weirder than that.
Nice, Chris. Good call.
Yeah, that was good. So anyway, I'm still enjoying The Witcher, playing some Hearthstone. I will probably wrap up The Witcher by this weekend, and I don't know what I'm going to next. It's probably going to be Horizon because I've been really itching to play that game. And so yeah, man, life is good, and it's the summer. It's getting hot out here in Nashville.
Yeah, it is. Is today or yesterday was the first day of summer?
I think.
Was it yesterday?
Today? I think it was yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
or today. It could be today.
I don't know.
So. It's all good. That's it for me. Over to you, Mr. Patilio.
Yeah.
What you got?
Life has been fast and too fast, too furious.
Nice.
Since I got home. So I came home from E3. I took the red eye home, which as a parent is probably a terrible idea. Because you don't get any sleep at night and then still have to be a husband and father when you get home. And So I got that Thursday with the family and then left that night for Nebraska and Iowa. And so it was the only solace was like sleeping on the bus, like getting to catch up on my sleep because that Thursday was, woo. I
meant to ask you, do you sleep well on the bus?
I do, yes. Because you're kind of being like rocked to sleep.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Just like kind of going down the road.
Yeah, I can see that.
The movement of the bus. And we had, it was funny. I was really grateful. We had these bus drivers that we've had a bunch of times and we just trust them and you're not worried about anything happening in the middle of the night. They're amazing drivers. And so you're like, okay, good. I'm going to be able to sleep good tonight. Instead of having like a new guy where they're like, yeah, just started. And you're like, oh, great. You know, I hope you got your rest today.
Right.
So it was definitely right back into it. Like Chris is talking about, you know, going to work on Monday, you know, getting home to, you know, 3 kids felt like right back into it. It felt like popping the clutch. And I was just exhausted that first day back home. And then did the weekend, came home on Father's Day. It was a kind of a bummer because we were driving all the way from Iowa. So we were going to get in late anyway. But then we hit a wreck on the freeway and it slowed us down. So I don't think I got home on Father's Day till like 4 p.m.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a bummer. But the nice thing was Jenny had texted me that morning and was like, hey, our buddies Johnny Swim are putting on a concert, a secret show at Exit In tonight. Do you want to go? And I was like,
oh, nice.
You know what? That'll be a good time to be able to like just hang out with Jenny and get out, which is weird because it's Father's Day. I should be excited about hanging with the kids, but it was nice to me and Jenny just.
They'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be fine. So you know, we didn't leave till they were about to go to bed anyway. So I got good time in with the kids, and then got to go see our boys Johnny Swim, and they freaking tore it down. I mean, it's Abner and Amanda. They're a married couple, and they've been doing it for maybe 7 years, being Johnny Swim. For those that don't know who they are, you might have heard them. They're the theme song for a show called Fixer Upper on HGTV. So that whole "Let's Go Home, I Need Me Some Home," that song that they play on Fixer Upper is Johnny Swim.
How's it go again?
Yeah, exactly.
Chris, always you sing it this time.
It's so it was fun being able to go to that show and watch them and just be so proud. We've known them for forever. I've known them from separately before they were a couple. And so watching them as a couple that's, just kind of been running the indie circuit and getting more and more popular. And so it's fun. And then after the show, getting to go back and just hug on them and say, we're proud of you and just see them. And, it was just really, really fun and
that's
good
great,
for the soul. Yeah, it was
nice.
Good. And man, the rest of everything else is a blur. It's just been shows and work, and we haven't gotten any house projects or anything because I'm leaving again this weekend to go to Virginia and Ohio and Colorado. So we're kind of jumping all around. We do Virginia, then Ohio, then the next morning fly to Colorado, do a show that night, then the next morning fly back to Nashville. And so, yeah, it's going, gearing up for this cruise, the Jesus Freak cruise in
when is that?
July. It's like the second week of July or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And so just gearing up for that and golf camp and all these things that we do during the summer. So it's busy, very, very busy, but everything's going good. Amara's doing a dance summer camp. So that's been cool. I haven't gotten into any gaming. I started up what's it called? Heroes of the Storm. And it needed an update. So instead of getting to play it, I updated it.
There goes that.
Exactly. I'm slowly working my programs over from my laptop to the PC build that I did. You can check that out on YouTube. I put up, just kind of me piecing it together up there. And just kind of, moving Adobe Premiere over, which was a pain. And I had to, rebuy a license and all this stuff. And trying to hunt down an old license of that was awful. And having to pay for it over again, that was awful. Because I guess the one I had was already shared and all this business, so I couldn't put it on my new computer.
Is it super expensive still, considering that it's CS6?
It's more expensive than I would have wanted.
Yeah,
it's like $100-something, where the first time I bought it was like almost $400. So it's not as that expensive, but it's definitely like, it's hard to find the standalones, now that they've been into the CC way of doing things.
Do you not use Creative Cloud?
I don't, because it's expensive.
You pay monthly?
Yeah, I don't do that because I use it so, just for the podcast stuff. If it was part of if it was part of what I did for a living, I would definitely go Creative Cloud because it's worth it. And the programs are so powerful for what you're paying.
Yeah, and you get all the latest updates because I use Photoshop.
Yeah.
And so I only pay like $28 a month or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. What were you about to say, Chris?
I was going to say, I think you can buy just Premiere, and I think it's kind of a similar deal. I think it's only like $20 or something a month. I think something like that. I'm not really sure.
I think you're right. I want to say
that's
it's
all
the
you're
next.
using.
I want to say it's the next one up. I want to say you get like the low versions for like $10 a month, and then you get like Photoshop and Illustrator or something like that for the $20. And I think it jumps once you get into the video editing, it jumps to like $40 a month. So that's why I wasn't interested in doing that. Gosh, what else? I think that's about it, man. I'm boring and just head down. Been doing VO stuff, which is good. Been doing some more auditions. Been still doing some of the other things that I already had jobs for and trying to catch up, as from being out of town.
That's great, man.
So that's it, man. That's it for me.
Yeah, it's those crazy summer spot dates. Huh?
Yeah.
At least you're not out for like a huge amount of time.
Yeah,
nothing
crazy. The cruise does get a little wonky with some things butted up against it. So I am actually leaving the cruise early to come home and try to relieve Jenny for a couple days before we head back out for a week's time.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that we're kind of up in the air this last week. But all right, I'm done.
Nice.
Router.
Yeah, buddy.
You got it?
Oh, of course I do.
Well, let's do it.
All right, let's start with some new releases this week, shall we?
Yes.
All right, we're going to start with Final Fantasy XIV Online. The complete edition for the PS4 and PC is out.
Mm-hmm.
Dead Rising 4 Super Ultra Dead Rising 4 Mini Golf for the PC, Xbox One.
Say what now?
That doesn't sound right. But
Dead Rising 4 Super Ultra Dead Rising 4 Mini Golf. You heard it first.
Yep.
Game titles.
That's right. Woo, woo, woo. Dead by Daylight for Xbox One and PS4. Dungeon Defenders 2, Xbox One, PC, and PS4. God Wars Future Past for the PS4 and Vita. Cities Skylines Xbox One edition for the, of course, Xbox One.
Oh, good.
And Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valencia Cypher Legends 1 and 2 is released for the 3DS.
I really want to play Cities. I just have never pulled the trigger to do it. Like, I hear it's like a great game, but then has a lot of shortcomings. I don't know. I want to. I like those SimCity type games, though.
Yeah, you're a sandbox player kind of guy, aren't you?
I really like that, but I don't know. I don't know why I haven't pulled. It's kind of like with NBA Playgrounds. Like I just haven't quite pulled the trigger, and I don't know why. I'm just a little shy.
Well, you have to turn your console on first, brother.
Yeah, I know. That's right. That's another thing. I've freaking lost my Nintendo Switch charger.
Oh, no.
I bought an extra one for the road. And then I was on an American Airlines flight where they have all the plugs at the seat.
Yep.
And I'm just not used to having a plug at the seat, so I didn't bother unplugging it to put it back in my bag. Because under the seat, kind of tucked away and out of the way. So I'll have to use the one I have from home and take that one on the road and hope not lose that one for this next trip. But
oh man, it's all good. You'll get there. You'll get back to consoles. We'll see you online soon.
Seriously, I feel like me and the games are are separated.
You're not talking.
Like we're not so much married right now. It's like I'm still mad at you from last time.
Right.
Married to the game's couch.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, we need to go to counseling, marriage counseling. Me and the games need marriage counseling.
There you go. It'll all come around. I'm fully confident.
Thank you.
We have no oops again, which is awesome. We're on a roll, which has been great.
Yeah, last week was full of opinions. That's why. I know sometimes we get oops on
it was
those
mostly
anyway.
opinion versus fact. That's a good point. Very good point. We do have NPD for May, though, which is always awesome. So let's do this. So consumers in the U.S. spent $542 million on game-related hardware, software, and accessories in May. That's down 11% from the $610 million in 2016. So we had the 2 months straight of positive upward sales, and we dropped back down again.
Had to happen.
Injustice 2 and Prey were the big new releases, but Injustice 2 had a much better showing. Mm-hmm. And hardware sales is where most of the growth is, and had a touch comparison to May 2016. So here we go. We have 542 million down 11%. Hardware was 147 million, up 7% from 138 million. That has to be Switch related.
Yeah, that's got to be mostly driven by Switch.
Yep. Console software, 271 million, down 20% from 339 million. PC software was down 48% at 12 million versus last year's 23 million. And accessories were up 1%, 112 million from 111 million last year. Moving on to software, here are the top 10 games for the month of May. Number 10, Overwatch.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Number 9, MLB 17, The Show.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, NBA 2K17. Number 7, Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valencia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go, 3DSers. Number 6, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Man, that has been consistently on that top 10. That's pretty impressive, considering nobody in our clan really has played it and or liked it. Number 5, debut for Prey. Number 4,
really?
Number 4, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Number 3, of course, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Wow.
What a juggernaut.
Seriously. Right? Number 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So number 1, Injustice 2. So Injustice 2 beat out Mario Kart 8, which is pretty surprising.
Huh.
I mean, there's definitely more consoles that can play that.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, that's very true.
Yeah. So that's probably why. I bet you if you looked at, like, on the Switch side, I'm sure that Mario Kart was the highest selling game of that month or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. There's your NPD. It's all back to you,
Chris McCracken.
All right, so this is going to be a little bit different than my normal way of doing things. This is more about, I kind of want to just have a discussion between us on this topic. I'm not going to necessarily go over too much.
Oh, what did I do?
No, it's about E3, so that's why I'm going to ask. But there's been a couple of articles and then a lot of talk online that I saw about how kind of lackadaisical security was at E3 this year.
Yeah.
And then just like many people, like in this one story in particular that I'm referencing, there's people that talked about they had a pass, but they wanted to see like, hey, can I get in there without showing it? And tried different ways to get in and was able to get in every single time they tried. There were a few people that actually didn't have passes and tried to get in from just walking off the street and they were able to get in. And I don't remember who it was I turned to and said this. It might have been Ed, or I don't remember, but I was saying, it's kind of strange to me that there's not been one single bag checked. And I don't know if that's
I remember you said that.
And I was just like, I don't know. This is my first E3. Maybe that's not a thing they do. But at the same time, this is the first time it's open to the public. It feels like that should be a standard thing. Or maybe like wave a wand or something. I don't know. And I just kind of wanted to see, did you guys feel that way? Like, did you feel like security was lax, and was that a thing that you really picked up on?
I definitely picked up on it, especially having gone in previous years.
Yeah, how did it compare? Compared to
it was
years?
way different. I mean, the last 2 times I went, every time I went in and out, they looked at my ID. Like I had to pull it out of my wallet. They matched it up with the pass, and then I could go in every time.
Yeah.
And so,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember you saying, oh, you might need to get out your ID. This might be a thing. And never once.
Exactly. And, between the 2 wings, if you left one and walked in the other, same thing. They didn't care that you were just over in the other area. And so, I thought E3, and thank God nothing bad happened, but I think that it was definitely a growing, learning, watching year. So, with them opening it up to the public, obviously there was way more people there than there were in previous years. I think that they were probably not prepared for that influx of people. And why I say that is like, they should have been checking IDs at the least. I've never had my backpack gone through before. And that, obviously because of terrorism is becoming a thing that needs to happen. And I thought that they might have this year, but if they're not checking IDs, they're definitely not checking bags. And I think they just felt like it's too many people. How do we do this and still have people coming and going and having them have a good experience? I don't know if they were leaning on we care about what people feel like. I think let everybody feel safe and don't worry about them being convenient or not. But we all know that first day, I don't know how long it would have taken to get everybody in the door if they were checking IDs and bags. But we do know that they were like, there was like just little things that they looked for. Like, they wouldn't let that one guy in with his roller bag. It was like, no roller bags. It's like, well, what's the difference? You know what I mean? Between
backpacks were fine.
There's a lot of backpacks going around too.
And I have a backpack that's both. It's a roller bag, or you can break it down and put it on your back and have it be a backpack. So I definitely noticed it for somebody who didn't want to take their ID out every time. I was like, well, I'm glad they're not, super checking IDs, but there definitely was times that I walked in the door and I was like, that guy didn't even look at me,
Yeah, definitely.
But thank God nothing happened.
I've been to a lot of these kind of shows with Lauren, both the gift show and the stationery show. They are at the Javits Center right in the middle of Manhattan, in New York, and I see that all the time. They'll look at your badge real quick. They'll just say, "Hey, show me your badge," but they don't check IDs and they don't double check. Probably because it's more of a trade show. Now, granted, this was for the general public, but typically with trade shows, they're pretty lax about it. And
because you have to pay to go and everything like that.
Because the registration process is probably your screening in and of itself, because you have to get your credentials and get all that stuff. So I wasn't really mad at that. I mean, because I've seen that before, and I've taken Lauren's pass before and just walked right on through, and they're like, they didn't check me at all or check my ID. What I was more concerned with and did notice was, there was no bag checking. No, and maybe the entranceway, maybe those were metal detectors, but I didn't think they were. I thought they were just little gateways right before you get in the door.
Yeah, they were just to hold the black light, I think.
Yeah.
I would have liked...
passes reflect in the black light in a certain way, which they weren't paying attention to either. And that's another thing, that when they checked my ID in years past, they also had a little flashlight that they would shine on your pass. I mean, it was definitely nice. 20, a 15 to 20 second process, for every person that went in.
I saw a couple guards doing that this year, but not nearly.
I had that happen to me.
I think just once.
They need a raise.
Yeah, they never checked my ID, but they did use that little flash. Because, like you said, it has the black lights up above just going through the door. But they also took out the little flashlight and waved it across my badge. I'm like, all right, go on in. But it didn't look like they were sitting there reading it, and they didn't ask for my ID or any of that stuff. to me, again, being the first time I'd been there, and the fact that it was open to the public the first time, and I hear what you're saying that that's a new thing for them. The bag check thing is what stood out to me the most because
I agree.
I feel like since 2011 or 2001, 9/11, I don't remember going anywhere that's a big thing and not seeing a bag checked. I mean, granted now it's 2017, but at the concert, like if you were taking in any kind of bag, which, ladies just carrying their purses, they were going through them. I go to Disney, that's happening. So,
yeah, definitely.
And I know that like we went through kind of somewhat a side entrance. There was a legitimate entrance, but it was like a side entrance. It almost feels like if they were going to do the bag thing, it would need to be at the front. And I hear what you're saying. Oh my gosh, that would have taken forever. I don't think they need to be checking bags each time you go inside each hall. That'd be a little ridiculous. But something maybe out at the very front and making everybody funnel through there. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I totally agree. And I think, I don't know if, and again, thank God nothing happened, but hopefully they see the articles and do take this into account because I do think it's something important that needs to happen. Yeah. And maybe there becomes a system where, because our badges also, I think, had barcodes on them. So if it's something that you can like scan and say, okay, this guy's been in and out or this girl's been in and out. That way, the first time you come in, they do check your bag. Maybe they wand you down. I don't know. And then you can kind of come and go. But yeah, it was a little like, it was definitely lax. Definitely a little too lax. Yeah. You know what I mean?
In that situation, is that security provided by the convention center or does E3 hire a company?
I don't know if it's private or
I don't know. I think it's convention center more than anything else because just in previous ones, it's always been that convention center has security.
And with that amount of people, they need to swap those guys out more often because those guys, there were some people that did not care about, second half of the day.
No.
Yeah.
No. Here's what needs to happen. I think they need to open the doors an hour earlier, have one section. If you have a bag, you need to just get it checked real quick. If you don't have a bag, you're in this section. And I think that will keep the flow a little bit better. As far as the badges didn't really bother me that much. Like I said, if you've gone through the registration process, you're pretty much in. Yeah, have a glance at it, but I'm not mad at them for that. I'm more concerned with there were a lot of backpacks around, and anything could happen, especially going in between. The walkway in between each of the big buildings, and that could have been a lot scarier than it should have. So I would hope they would take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very interesting, though. It's interesting that got pointed out.
Yep.
Yeah, if it got pointed out by us, there's definitely people more, sensitive to that than we are.
Yeah.
So the talk usually always is who won E3. And I found
who are you talking about?
Exactly. I found a cool little thing. They've done it the last couple of years, but this is my first year seeing it from a place called icopartners.com. And they do a media coverage analysis. And I was like, this is the best, because this is not opinion. This is, they do it by number of articles and they say that's who wins E3.
That makes sense.
Who garnered the most media coverage.
Okay.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And so going from the platforms side of things, they have every year. They have the last 4 years on there. This year, platform-wise, the Xbox brand came in first for the first time since 2014 or 2013, I think. Sony's always won. Sony has won the last since 14, 15, and 16. But Microsoft took it down with the Xbox brand this year, garnering around 19,774 articles about them. Sony's not far behind, though, with 19,393. They've always been fairly close to each other, but Sony's always, it seems, beat them the last couple of years by about 2,000 articles. Nintendo was obviously way down in comparison to them at 10,103. But Nintendo, too, did have a bump from the year before. The year before was 5,650 articles, so they almost doubled their articles. So that's good. And then platform media broken down. The Xbox One got the most articles, 17,196. The PlayStation 4 right behind it at 16,536. And then a big fall off to the Switch, 6,781. But then right under the Nintendo Switch, which I thought was interesting, the Xbox One X, 6,555.
Wow, I thought for sure that'd be number one.
I did too, but as we pointed out on Twitter or Discord, I forget where we were talking about it, the Xbox One X wasn't playable. You could only kind of see it.
Right.
Isn't that right?
It was in a glass case.
Not only that, I mean, outside of just the price and the name, pretty much all the information about it had already been officially out there.
What's there to talk about?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And so I just thought that was an interesting look at it. Obviously, PlayStation ran the table on when it came to VR. What are you going to talk about with Oculus and the Vive? So it had a lot more. Gaming wise, you have any guesses which game got the most
Spider-Man.
articles?
Which individual game?
Individual game.
God of War.
I could see Spider-Man, but I could also see Anthem because that's, a BioWare brand new IP.
Oh, no, it had to be Destiny.
No.
Destiny 2 was, let's see,
Oh
1,
my
2,
gosh,
3,
I don't believe
4,
it.
fifth. No, they were fifth.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I thought you were saying they were
Fifth.
first. I was like, I
Holy
can't
cow.
believe that.
No, Assassin's Creed Origins.
Get out.
Really?
Yeah, I can see that.
Wow.
Number one with just under 2,500 articles. Then Anthem, followed closely behind, followed by Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh, yeah.
And then Skyrim.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Because it was, I guess, re-released on whatever we were talking about. And then it's releasing on the Switch. Oh, VR, it's releasing on. And then Switch, it's releasing on.
Oh, okay, right.
Then Destiny 2, then Super Mario, then FIFA. Wolfenstein New Colossus.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even remember seeing that. Anyway, I thought this was just an interesting look. I had never seen it broken down in this way as far as number of articles written about a certain thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think overall, as far as some of the outside publishers, it looks like EA obviously did the best with Anthem's Battlefront and FIFA, followed by Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Far Cry 5, and then Bethesda with Wolfenstein, Evil Within 2, Fallout 4. So I just thought that was a really cool way of breaking it down to say, because then you can kind of definitively say who, quote unquote, won E3 because who's talking about it the most?
Yeah, I feel like that's so much more an accurate representation of what are people talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
It gives you something tangible to kind of point to rather than just these games at this conference mean more to me, so obviously they won. Or this
it's not
hardware means
subjective.
more to
It
me.
feels
Or
very objective
whatever.
based on data.
Got to get down to the numbers. I love that. So I thought this was a really cool look. And I'll post it on Twitter so people can take a look because they've got other things broken down as well. So it's kind of a cool read.
Nice.
I like that.
Christopher?
So the Nintendo Switch has gotten a system update to version 3.0. It releases, it does various different things that are all kind of mostly quality of life things, except for one thing in particular. It's now introduced a feature where you can go to this one screen and you can see all the different controllers paired to your Switch. So if you have, multiple Joy-Cons and then a Pro Controller, and if for some reason you've misplaced them or you can't find them, because I've done this with my phone before, and you can tap on it and it'll make them vibrate via the gyroscope or the the rumble inside
That's
there.
very cool.
Uh-huh.
Now, the only thing that's kind of weird about it is it seems like, so if you have your Switch, you have to tap it and keep it held and it'll vibrate while it's held. I thought it was going to be like you tap it and it'll vibrate for, 10 seconds or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was kind of ingenious because there's definitely times where I've used that, because from my computer or from my watch, I can, where the heck did I put my phone? I can do something and it'll either vibrate or it'll make a noise or something. And I thought that was kind of a neat little idea for a portable console that has controllers that can be detached and placed anywhere. I thought that was a really neat little feature that you had. And there's going to be some, because every one vibrates a little bit differently, there's going to be some music video or something comes out where you're playing some song vibrating these controllers. It's bound to happen. So I thought that was pretty neat.
My only thing I wondered is if the Joy-Cons sitting under a bed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's off. So if I turn the Switch on, what turns the controller on? Is it just, are they always in a sleep kind of mode where they're always connected to Bluetooth, but
I would assume
active?
that's the case. Obviously I don't know that for sure, but that's kind of what I would think is that just in a similar fashion to how like your PlayStation or your Xbox can go into rest mode and they can still do things even though they're kind of off. Like they can still download updates or whatnot. I bet it's something like that where they're really, in actuality, what it is it's a really, really low power mode that's basically off, but yet the Bluetooth is still there. And if it can reach it, or Wi-Fi or however there, I think it's connecting via Bluetooth. You can still activate it that way and do the vibration. Although, like you were saying, if all it does is vibrate, if it's under your bed, you're probably not going to hear that if it's on some carpet or something.
Right. No, or if the battery's dead.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, interesting. I did like that though. When I saw that, I was like, okay, all right, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Is your Switch updated, Gabe?
No, it's dead. I haven't plugged it back in since I've been home. Battlefield 1's got a new DLC coming out called In the Name of Tsar, TSAR.
In the Name of the Tsar.
And it's about an all-female division. Because one of the things you notice that if you play Battlefield 1 is you never play as a lady, I don't think. Wait, don't you in that one? Anyway, a lot of people were saying that women just in general were missing from Battlefield 1. Yeah. And so they said one of the ways that, and I think you do play in the Lawrence of Arabia one, I think you do play as a lady, but they were saying that one of the ways that they came up with the stories is they scanned textbooks and got online and found all these stories from the war and chose out ones that they thought were interesting. And there is a pretty vast character base, so you don't feel like you're just kind of playing as one type of person. And there was a all-women's battalion. They were called the Women's Battalion of Death.
Wow.
An all-female division of Russian military that fought on the front lines. And they all shaved their heads to blend in with the men. And so they're going to be bringing that to Battlefield. Battlefield 1. Really cool. And I think that's really cool. They haven't announced a price just yet, but they said it's coming in September. And I just thought that was really cool of EA and who is it?
DICE.
Playa Vista DICE. Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was really cool. I was like, good. Yeah. I like an all female, and it's cool that existed. And they were saying that they're leaning on. They didn't just do it for diversity, but they want to still stay true to the history of the war. And so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I saw a trailer for it or announcing it or something, and that game is just really pretty. I mean, I haven't played it, since last fall, but just because I've had so much other stuff. But man, that game, anytime I see footage for it or a new, piece of DLC is about to drop, I haven't really bought any of them, but I always see it and I get that little itch like, man, I should go back and play that game again because it was fun, which is the main thing, but also it just looks so good.
Yeah, and it plays well. I really enjoyed playing through the story. So I would say, folks need to play it. Great game. What else you got, Christoph?
So we know that there was a whole big kind of kerfluffle, if you will, with IO Interactive and Square Enix, Square Enix kind of saying, hey, we don't want to really own these guys anymore. We want somebody to buy them off of us and all that, going back and forth, figuring out what's going to happen with them. And so it turns out that they were able to take back their independence. It said they released a statement. I'm just going to read little bits and pieces of it. It says, I'm proud to announce today that IO Interactive is now officially an independent studio. We have successfully concluded our negotiations with Square Enix, and we have agreed on a management buyout. Crucially, we will keep all of the rights for the Hitman IP.
Yep.
I thought that was a huge win for them because that's one of those things where Square Enix could have easily put some, deal in there was like, you can make the game, but we're going to still control the IP, or you can have the IP, but we still have like half ownership of it or something ridiculous. And so the fact that they actually got it and they are the sole owners of it, that's amazing. And then kind of coupled with that.
That's called good contract writing up front.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
And
that's good lawyers.
Good negotiating. And then also kind of coupled with that, the Hitman right now, the first series or the first episode, I guess, if you will, is currently free on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. So I was one of those people who was always interested but never quite went around to picking it up. So I went ahead and downloaded it this morning to both my PS4 and my Xbox One just for good measure. I was like, hey, I'm going to do it.
Is that Paris? Episode 1 is Paris, isn't it?
No, episode 1 I think is the training.
Oh, the training, right.
And I don't know if it leads into the first real mission. Do you remember, Ed? I want to say it's training and a first level.
Yeah, was it training and it was like a fashion show?
Yeah, that's Paris.
Yeah.
The fashion show one was later, I think. And I'm not really sure. I just went to my phone real fast and did it from there. I didn't read any of the details about what it
play
entails,
that, man. That's so much fun.
I like it.
So good for IO Interactive. I'm excited for them.
Yeah, and it kind of gives you a little like more Hitman, hopefully. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like this is definitely going to mean, because you have to assume they'd already at least been in the planning, if not already entering into development for it, the season 2, if you will. So this is good that this should mean that they're going to, I don't think they'd make a big deal about saying, we get to retain the IP and we're killing it, you know?
Right,
They would do that.
And we have nothing for you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was excited when I saw that. I was like, I hope that this is reinvigorated the team. You know, so much of
good for them.
We know that video games wouldn't happen without a team. I mean, they can. There are some singularly made games out there, but it's so important to have your team and for it to be excited about what it's working on and the product. And so I was hoping that this kind of is a kick in the pants and they're like, hey, let's not do episodic anymore.
Right.
Let's do what we want to do.
Well, and it also kind of invigorates them because they still have a job, which is nice.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're like, hey, all right, we get to keep working on stuff that we like.
Very true. The last thing I have, and forgive me, I'm probably going to oops all over the place.
All right.
But Pokemon Go has been having a lot of updates lately, it feels like, and they're about to have like a meeting of the trainers on July 22nd in Chicago's Grant Park. They sold tickets. They sold out in minutes. They went on sale June 19th. And I guess it's just a big get together and they're going to be dropping a bunch of stuff on Grant Park is what I'm guessing. And they sold tickets for $20 each. They went extremely fast. They crashed the website and people are reselling the tickets now for upwards of $300 for
of course.
one ticket and wristband, which I would be mad about if people weren't paying it. So these are the bidding up to that. These are not buy now prices. So I don't know what's going on with Pokemon Go, but it seems like it's getting exciting for people that have stayed around and are playing it a lot. Chris, are you still playing it?
No, I haven't played it in a good while.
Stancil is.
Yeah, he is.
I know Stancil was. Is Stacy still playing it?
She does still have it on her phone, but she said she has not played it in, a couple weeks or so.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it looks like things are around the horizon. It seems like dreams are still being answered by the updates. And so I love that when a game supports its patrons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
So for you Pokemon Go people out there, I hope that it's still awesome for you. I don't even have it on my phone anymore.
I know, right?
You got anything else, Chris?
No. I'm out.
Ed Placencia.
Yeah.
What is going? Did we upload any videos on the YouTube channel?
Yeah, we did.
Ooh, tell us about it.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine.
Yay.
Like Tim mentioned, episodes 10 through 12 are up. Infamous First Light. It's 2 videos. That's all complete. That's up. Married to the Games, reacting to the Sony press conference is up.
Sorry, that was so
can
late.
watch that. It's all right. We were a little busy.
My computer was struggling too. I was like doing it remotely from when I was gone. I was like, just work, please.
Right. and not to mention that the internet at the Airbnb wasn't the best in the world for uploading big files.
It was horrible.
No, not at all.
Or little files.
Or little files even. E3 217 360 video on the floor. That was really cool to see. Gabe kind of taking the 360 camera around to different areas of the convention center.
Yep.
It made me sad to rewatch it.
Oh, why sad?
I was like, doggone it. That was fun.
Because you weren't there? Yeah.
And some of them, if you look down, obviously you can see me holding the camera up, but there's a couple times where you see Chris looking up at the camera. And
I know. I love that. I love that so much.
I think I was there like the first 1 or 2 locations he went to, and then I'm looking up at it and just kind of standing there like, yeah, whatever. And then it dawned on me like, oh, wait, you'll be able to see me. I should do something or walk away.
Yeah, we need to do a Where's Waldo with those 360 cams.
Oh, we totally should have done
right?
that.
Find Stancil, find Chris. Yeah,
peeking around a wall, staring right at it.
So much fun. And then, like Gabe mentioned, the computer build video is up there as well. So go check that out.
Yeah, it's not very exciting, but if you want to see,
it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Was it
I liked
okay?
it.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Let's see, our top 10 YouTube videos combining the average watch time and views for the week of June 13th through the 19th. Number 10, The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine Part 10.
Hey.
Number 9, Infamous First Light Part 1.
Hey.
Oh, look at that.
Number 8, Watch Dogs 2 Part 6 Bottom Dollar Complete.
Well, of course.
Of course, number 7, Watch Dogs 2 Part 5 Bottom Dollar Fail.
Oh, yeah.
Number 6, Married to the Games reacts to the Sony press conference.
Hey.
Nice.
There
I
you go.
like that. Number 5, Watch Dogs 2 Part 19 Paint Job. Number 4, Watch Dogs 2 Part 48 Ghost Signals.
I'm gonna have to play Watch Dogs too because this is ridiculous.
Well, there's videos up there if you get stuck. Number 3, Married to the Games, episode 248, E3 2017 in 360.
Nice.
Look at that. Number 2, probably, I'm guessing, because of the new announcement, Ori and the Blind Forest, Part 14.
Thornfeld
Swamp! Oh, Lord, that was bad.
Got a little bit of a bump this week. And number 1, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
No way. Hanging in there.
Hanging in there despite all the new shenanigans.
I know. Only because they didn't give us anything at this E3.
That's right.
It's
going to stay up there for a bit.
It's going to stay up there until they give us something new.
Right.
Give us something new to react to, world.
You're boring me.
Entertain me now.
Exactly. Thank you, Eduardo.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was semi-different because we asked you the same question that we asked you the week before.
Nice.
Have you ever ditched work or skipped school for video games? Starting on the Discord. Cat Jack, I've taken the day or two off for every World of Warcraft expansion since Wrath of the Lich King. 18-hour gaming days with my wife, looking after the kids and other responsibilities. Might have to do that for Destiny 2 this fall.
Oh.
Amen to that. Nova Beyond, who hopefully I can meet this weekend. We'll see.
Nice.
No pressure.
Nope.
Heck yeah, I've taken off for gaming before. I never had the privilege of taking off school/class, but only for huge releases that I've been waiting years for. I took off 2 days when the Xbox One launched, took a day off for Uncharted 4, took a couple days off for GTA 5.
Oh, jeez.
And I took 2 days this year for Mass Effect. I'm sure there are more, but those right there stick out to me. There's nothing like grabbing a few caffeinated drinks, ordering pizza, and shutting the outside world out for a day and escaping into another one.
Nice.
I'm now currently unemployed.
Yes.
I know, right?
I love that, though, man. I get it.
No, I love that. Are you kidding? That's amazing.
Hitman Justin, the latest was when Fallout 4 came out. I took off 3 days so I could play it. I also...
I love when it's more than one day.
I know. I'm not saying that any of these days that they're mentioning are in a row, but I'm guessing they are.
Yeah.
I also
have to be.
I also remember when Half-Life 2 came out, I stayed up till 3 a.m. to play it when it came out on Steam. I didn't skip school then in 2004, but I slept through my study hall that day.
Nice.
I know that's right. Over on... Oh, well, I guess I shut that window down. I'll open up Facebook again. Greg Leg on the forum. Not really, but I was quote unquote lucky enough to be home sick from work, legit, the day Populous 2 came out. And I've spent plenty of nights up too late to be terribly functional at work, but still went in. I don't know Populous 2.
I don't either.
I don't know that either.
But it's a good enough game to skip work or to be sick from
legitimately
work.
Sick. Yeah.
Legitimately sick. At least he was legitimately sick. That's what he's telling us, but maybe his boss listens.
Exactly. Well done.
But I doubt it.
Me too.
Over on Facebook, D High. Of course I have, good sirs.
How dare you doubt me?
Exactly. Every year when Call of Duty drops, I get a sudden fever, and the only cure is more sniping.
There you
Yeah,
go.
buddy.
I love that.
I got a fever.
I got a fever for the killing. Over on Twitter, Jamin Bissett at Jamin Bissett. I once lied about needing to pick up my brother from the airport so I could stay home and watch E3 live.
That's awesome.
Threw him and his brother under the bus.
That's so funny.
Jeff the Android at Remake Yourself, who also I will be seeing this weekend.
Nice.
School, Dreamcast, Xbox, GameCube launches. Work, Infamous Second Son, Mass Effect 3, Final Fantasy 15. Next, Mario Odyssey. And in 2058, Kingdom Hearts 3. Yep.
Nice.
I get it. Buzzing. Dan D. Bizzle Boise at _ Dan Boise _ Heck yeah. Took a day off when Gears 3 released. Spoiler, he didn't say heck yeah.
Oh, he said gosh.
Yes. Mr.
Golly
Che,
Jankers, I did.
Mr. Che at LL Cool Che pulled a sickie.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
I like that.
Pulled a sickie on the launch day of the PS2. If I'd only been working a few months. Haha.
Whoops.
Nice. They're like, man, this guy, we just hired him. He's sick already? Jeez
Right.
Louise.
Sick of working.
Sick of working. I know that's right. Need that healing serum in them games. Well, you know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast, Facebook. Oh, I already said that one. Marriedtothegames.com. Come check out the forum. YouTube.com/married to the games. We got a lot of videos over there. I think we're upwards of over 25 or 2,600. Come join the party. And now on Patreon.
That's right.
Patreon.com/MTTG. Come support your boys. We appreciate it. And Tim.
Oh, man. I wasn't ready for that.
Yes.
Rate us on iTunes so we can have Ed checking all the bags at E3 2018.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a good one, Tim, to just pull out of no place. Good job,
I
buddy.
did.
Well
I just
played.
pulled that one right out of the hat. Sorry. Sorry, Ed. I don't know why I picked you. It was just random.
I'll do it.
You were just on my mind.
That's funny. Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, let's get into some questions. Starting with Discord, Romaine. Question for next episode. In what ways do you use online gaming to keep in touch with friends and family? For example, my sister and I used to hang out and play scary games when she lived in town. Now she lives too far away to do it regularly, so I stream on Twitch with her. That's really cool. I like that.
I like that a lot.
I mean, I think we use online gaming all the time to link up with our community. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And even with each other. I mean, I was just playing
Yeah.
Overwatch with Ed last night.
It's very true. It's fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Destiny was the first game that I felt like I was actively actually keeping up with people's lives. And I'm hoping Destiny 2 will be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Destiny was my first multiplayer when I actually started talking to the community.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was really interesting. All right, moving on. Dat Ninja Dev. So we found out that Chris does not like peanut butter. What wonderfully delicious thing that most people like do you hate?
Yeah, what was that conversation about? It was like peanut butter, went to Pop-Tarts and beer. And
it was
Yeah, it went all over
Pop-Tarts,
the
and then it
place.
went to bananas, and beer got thrown in there, and then peanut butter. You know, I make one statement, and the whole world blows up.
That's right.
What did you say? That
Exactly.
peanut butter wasn't good?
Yeah, somebody said something about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They were talking about bananas, and then somehow I got into peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I said, bananas, yay, peanut butter and or jelly, nay. And that just went on from there.
Just so un-American,
That's
but
all
whatever.
over on the
It's all
Discord.
good.
Yeah.
I don't like either of those things.
Man, and not together either, huh? Have you ever
Definitely
had
not
an
together.
Uncrustable?
A what?
Oh, you mean crack?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I've never had whatever you just said.
That stuff is delicious.
Uncrustables are, I mean, don't
They're
ever
dangerous.
eat one, but Lord have mercy, they're good.
They're dangerous.
Now, They're diabetes in a pouch.
It is. It's the diabetic pouch. Oh, let me just get my coin purse of diabetes.
What are they called?
Uncrustables.
Is it just a sandwich with the crust cut off?
Yeah, they're like
it's in the frozen section, I think.
Yeah, they're so delicious.
Which should tell you something.
It's like Elliot Ness when he wakes up in the morning. He's an Uncrustable.
Yeah.
Oh, well played.
I'd never heard of those.
Me neither.
They're delicious.
Look it up. They're pretty amazing and dangerous. All right. So, what wonderfully delicious thing that most people like do you hate? Besides Chris not liking peanut butter.
Yeah.
I don't think most of the stuff I don't like are kind of like standard things like beets and stuff like that. I don't know that there's anything that is like everyone loves it because it's so awesome.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like black licorice at all. No offense, Gabe.
Not saying black licorice is disgusting.
I would guess you're in the majority on that one, though.
Yeah, I would think so too. Like,
black licorice is an acquired taste.
It really is. So, I mean, yeah.
I don't like wine, beer, or sushi.
Wow.
I don't like the way those three things taste, and I think that,
together.
Yeah, exactly. All especially
one
blended.
of those three, I'm with you on.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Well, there's your morning shake.
I said one of those three, I'm with you.
Is
I'm
it
not
sushi?
a sushi guy. Yeah. I ain't gonna,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I love sushi.
I want to like wine and beer a lot, and I've tried a variety. I'm not one of those guys that says I don't like something but have never tried it. I've tried a bunch of sushi. It's a split in me and Stansel's relationship. We'd be closer if I liked sushi.
There you
go. But yeah, that's mine. Chris, besides peanut butter, you have another one?
Oh yeah.
I don't. I don't like warm fruit.
Warm fruit.
I'm with you on that. I don't like warm fruit either.
Like an apple pie or a peach cobbler or any of that stuff. Like, nah, you warm up the fruit, it's a different thing, and I'm not having it.
Never mind. I'm not with you anymore on that.
Blackberry.
Yeah, I'm not down with
blackberry cobbler.
Like I don't like pineapples on pizza because it's warm.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I don't like a pear that's been sitting out in the sun.
Yeah, but do you like room temperature fruit?
Yeah, I mean, like I'll just go pick up a banana or an apple that's been sitting out. Yeah, that's fine. But when you take it and then you heat it like in an oven or microwave
you don't like
or something,
cherry pie, apple pie, or any of that stuff?
Nah, man, nah.
Oh,
when you heat it just changes into a different thing. Yeah, well, you mean like a cold piece of pie?
Yeah, like a pie that's been sitting out that's not like straight out of the oven, but it's just like some good peach cobbler that's been just sitting out?
I don't know when the last. I know I've tried that before, and I didn't really sway me, but I haven't done that in a long time. So,
oh man,
no, I've eaten pie. Believe me, I've tried it because everybody's like, "Oh, this is so amazing." I'm trying. I'm just like, whatever.
Do you like pumpkin pie?
I can eat it, but it's not like I'm like if people offer it to me and like, okay, I'll have a few bites of this, sure, with whipped cream on it, but I'm not like jonesing for it. And there's some caveats. I mean, like I'll eat a blueberry muffin and that's got blueberries in it and it's been hot. I mean, there's some things where it's okay, but the vast majority of if it's fruit that's been heated up like in an oven, usually it's part of a dessert of some sort, it's not really my thing.
Yeah.
What about like a turnover or a
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, now we're getting technical.
Like a cherry turnover or an apple turnover?
I don't know what that is either,
I
Chris.
don't know what those are, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you probably know.
They're delicious pastries.
You don't know what a turnover is?
No, man. That sounds like something out the 50s.
Oh, have a nice turnover.
Let me have an apple turnover, sir.
Yeah, that's the 20s.
I am flummoxed right now. I can't believe this.
Ed,
I don't know
they're
what that
showing
word
their
is.
age.
I think that
we are showing our maturity, and they're showing their age.
I think a big part of why I don't do the whole. In general, I'm not huge on sweets. Just in general, and most warm fruit is a sweet thing. You know.
What about a strudel?
No, I'm not doing no strudels.
Really?
Oh,
get up out of here.
Strudel's good, man.
I will do a cinnamon Pop-Tart.
Well.
Hey.
How about a cinnamon roll?
What up, Mad Lady?
Yeah. What about a bear claw? What about a scone?
Yeah, I'll do a scone. Usually, I do a scone, and the only ones I have that have fruit usually are blueberry ones.
Mm.
All right, Ed, I think we'll allow that.
I don't know. I almost feel bad.
Right?
Nah,
I feel
you don't
bad
gotta
for
feel
them
bad,
too.
man.
They're little lost pups.
I know.
Tim, do you have one?
All right. It was. I think it was just black licorice. Like I generally love to eat, so I'm not really picky. So I don't eat a ton of fish, but I mean I love me some sushi. But yeah, I'm pretty easy.
I got you.
All right, Nova Beyond. What's more comfortable for you to wear, backwards or frontwards hats?
Backwards.
You like it backwards?
Yep, backwards and to the side. Just fits my head the right way.
Oh, look at you! Look at you!
And it's not a fashion thing actually. It's just they fit the best like that. I have a weird shaped head though too, so that happens.
Yeah, I like frontwards typically, and then as the day goes on, then I'll pop it backwards.
All three of you guys
depends
are
on what
frontwards.
I'm doing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what I'm doing. But I will say I very rarely wear a hat if it's not fitted.
Oh, you don't like snapbacks?
Oh.
Yeah, I own a few, but it's so rare if I wear one. And if I do, I only wear it front way. It looks ridiculous backwards.
Yeah. How do you wear your Redskins hats?
I don't wear a Redskins hat.
Yeah.
He said, in the fire is how I wear them.
Burning.
I'll heat that in the oven.
Ed, you're frontward facing. Always.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Always.
The way hats were made to be worn.
That's how you see the Cubs logo.
Exactly. I'm not in college anymore.
That's right. Bro.
Exactly. Some Call of Duty, bro.
I'm going to start trying the sideways thing, see if I can pull it off.
Yeah, man. Do it.
Sideways is extremely uncomfortable.
I'm doing it, man.
I would think so.
I'm inspired by you, Gabe.
No, I don't wear it
man.
fully
We want a picture.
sideways.
We want a picture this week.
I kind of wear it
Chris.
at like 5 o'clock.
Oh, I know how you do it. I seen you, man.
Okay. Yeah, we've met before.
Yes.
Even though no hats at E3, I didn't do a hat the whole week.
I didn't either. And I brought one, but I didn't wear one the whole time.
I usually rock hats, but I didn't this week. That week.
And you wore a white shirt.
Yeah.
I don't usually wear white, but it was a gift that I had just gotten. So there's a place called, I don't remember the name of the store, but it's like an H&M, but it also has like licensed stuff. So they have like Nintendo and Disney things. Uniqlo, UNIQLO, I think was the name of the store. And I bought Remy a shirt from there, a little Mario shirt. And then one of my buddies went there that same day. I didn't see him a different time of the day. And he came, he was like, I got you something. And he pulled out this Mario shirt and it's got Mario in the corner. And then the whole shirt is white, but it's got black pipes everywhere, I think is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, I'm going to E3. This would be perfect for that. And so I wore it there, and I usually don't wear white, but yeah.
Is that store up at Opry Mills?
No, it was in California when I was there. We don't have one.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But great store. I liked it a lot.
Oh yeah. All right, moving on. Fluxel. I have to ask for research purposes. What is your favorite flavor of Pop-Tarts? Speaking of Pop-Tarts.
Golly, this Pop-Tart thing.
Man, this Pop-Tart thing's going nuts.
Brown sugar.
Yeah.
Same.
Strawberry.
Yeah, it's a toss-up between apple cinnamon and strawberry.
Mmm.
Hang on, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, false alarm.
Moving on to Facebook, Joseph Grimm.
He's gonna sneeze.
I know, right? Joseph Grimm. Hey guys, do you still have any of your childhood toys? Hot Wheels, GI Joes, Transformers, and is there any ones you wish you still had not for the money but sheer nostalgia?
Yeah, I wish I had all my gaming stuff.
Yeah,
but we were
that'd be nice.
We were a single parent family that moved a lot, and so I think that stuff ended up going in the trash probably.
Oh,
if I were to just imagine.
I wish I had all my Star Wars and Transformers stuff too. And like you, we were an Army family, so we moved a lot, and it was crazy.
Yeah, I don't have barely anything from back then, from when I was a kid. Ed?
Yeah, I don't have anything from when I was a kid. I had a Ralph the Dog Muppet. I wish I still had.
Is that one of the Muppets?
Yeah, the piano player.
Oh yeah, he's a piano player.
Oh yeah, he was great with the glasses.
No, that's Dr. Teeth.
Oh.
Dr. Teeth.
Dr. Teeth.
Good old Dr. Teeth.
Oh, I'm thinking of the one that played the saxophone.
Oh, Zoot.
Zoot.
He had glasses, right?
Nah, did he?
I
think he did. He had like
I don't think he had eyes.
dark aviators.
Exactly.
What about Ed, what was the name of the one that played the didgeridoo?
Oh, that was Wow Wow Wow.
Tim, do you have any stick and block of wood?
Yes. Stick and block of wood. Yep. More cowbell, please.
An original Lincoln log.
An original Lincoln log. You all can just go pound salt. Because I'm not the oldest one here, people. I know, but you keep forgetting that.
I know, but I don't forget it. But the joke is that you're old. And that's why it's funny.
I know.
Because you're not the oldest one and you're not that old.
See, exactly.
It's hilarious.
That's why it's funny.
Original Lincoln log.
Lincoln log. I had ball in cup.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He just had one piece of steel before they actually made erector sets.
He just had a shiny piece of metal that fell from the sky.
Oh man.
Oh, that's good.
That's good stuff.
Thanks, youngins. I appreciate it.
Has some flint.
Mammoth tooth. We could go on. All right, let's move on. D-High, what's the most
arrowhead they used to keep under his pillow?
Caveman Club. Let's keep going.
Yeah, the 10 Commandments.
The staff.
How about
buddied.
Jesus? Back when I played with Jesus.
Exactly. He's had Jesus' original jersey from back when in those years that the Bible don't talk about when he was playing ball.
I have the original sandals. It's all good.
Myrrh.
Are we done? Did we get that out? Did we get that?
We're done.
Some frankincense.
The rest of the apple that was uneaten.
I was just gonna say that, dude. Nice.
Oh my
I had back with in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
That was me.
He had the egg that the chicken came from before Adam named it. All right.
Oh, my stomach hurts. I miss you guys. That was good.
A vial of salt water before the. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
D-High, what's the most ridiculous thing you have ever purchased for yourself?
Jesus' original jersey.
Oh man.
The most ridiculous thing I've purchased for myself.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Wow.
I'm cheap, so I don't usually buy a lot of things that are ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't think of anything for me.
There's got to be something though.
I'm pretty cheap, so when I do, it can easily be ridiculous.
Right. You can justify it as ridiculous.
Yeah. So when Schindler's List first came out on VHS.
What's that?
Ooh.
I know, right? It's a thing you put a stick on and you shake it at the sun.
Do we even know what that stands for?
VHS. Oh, man.
Good trivia question.
Video Home Service Center.
Close.
Nice.
Real close.
They when it first came out on VHS, it wasn't for sale. You could only get it rented at Blockbuster and what have you.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't release it to the general public for sale. And I went to Suncoast Video and asked about it. And they said, no, it's only available to video stores. And I said, oh, well, if I was a video store and I wanted to buy one from you, how much is it? And he said $120, and I bought it.
No way.
Nice. Look at you.
And then 6 months later, it's like, hey, we're going to release this now. I was like, darn it.
Oh, jeez.
No.
For $30.
I know,
Yeah, right.
exactly.
I hate buying it before the sale. That's happened to me a bunch of times.
Oh, man.
Chris?
Man, I'm kind of
Besides the
Tim.
PSVR.
I really don't know. I can't think of anything. I mean, nothing that I feel like was ridiculous or outlandish or a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anything.
I bought a Mega Man helmet.
You did?
And it's on display on the case behind me. Yeah, I have it's a really small red Mega Man helmet. And it was like one of those knee-jerk reactions. And I was like, I like that. And I bought it. And I'm like, I didn't even play Mega Man all like that.
Right.
This ain't me.
Yeah, exactly.
I bought Justin Timberlake tickets for $900 for Lauren and I.
No, you didn't.
Wow.
Freaking StubHub, man. Yeah, they got me. It was for her birthday, and I'm like, I know she wanted to go, and the show was in December, and so I went on StubHub and thinking, okay, and I trust me, I was not happy about it, but in the end, it was totally worth it. That show was great.
$900.
Yep.
Wow.
They were good seats, though.
I bet.
Were no radios doing contests?
Not that I could call in.
Wow.
Jeez Louise. I don't know if there's anybody I want to go see that bad. Maybe if they resurrected Michael Jackson from the dead.
There you go.
And then he did Thriller.
Little hologram Jackson.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if it were like a private show kind of thing and only 50 people are going to some artist, and it costs that much, then yeah, I could do that maybe. But for just going to a legit normal show and just to be, a little close.
Would you go see Metallica for $500?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. If it was like a small intimate show like that, absolutely, I'd pay that.
What if it was like 500 people? That's intimate.
You would go. You would spend that for an arena show.
I don't know that I'd spend $500 for a ticket, but if it was,
it would have to be like 50 people.
Yeah, if it was something where it's like 50 people and it was $500 a ticket, I'd try to let Stacy let me do that.
And it was.
I would try to let my banker do that for me.
That's a good question.
That is a great question. How are we doing on time, Chris?
We can do a few more.
Do a few more. All right, let's move on to Twitter. At Jarrah45, who's getting Monster Hunter? I'm stupid excited for that one.
He is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. We weren't that impressed, were we?
I just don't know anything about it.
I got no history with it.
And so I want to see more. I'm not going to say like I'm going to get it.
I'll probably try it out. I thought it was a really bad showing though.
It looked like it was the that video on YouTube that someone put together of what Destiny promised and then what you got, and it's like the melodica version of Jurassic Park. It's like that's what it looked like to me.
Remember we were saying that during the Sony press conference?
Oh wait, that was No Man's Sky, Ed.
No, thank you. Yes.
Remember we were saying it during the press conference, like, man, this looks like they're showing this too early.
Yeah.
And so if it looks anything like that when it actually comes out, I'm definitely not doing that. But they'll polish it up. It'll look way better, and hopefully I'll red box it probably at least.
Both Sony and Microsoft kind of did that, because on Microsoft's side, they showed that State of Decay 2, and that game looked
That did not look good. Yeah,
that was the worst look. Like, I was embarrassed when I saw that, and then Sony went and did kind of the same thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, I wonder why.
And none of them said like beta footage or anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
they should have just thrown it up there just in case.
I know. Played on Xbox
This is the
One
beta
X.
version of this podcast, by the way. If you're not liking the way it sounds.
Right.
Yeah.
Beta version. All right. Good question. At Arctic Warlocks, 'tis the season for summer and family vacations.
Yep.
While on the road, what strange license plates have stuck out to you? I'm seeing this one right now, and it's a picture of, there's a little fish icon, and it just says F. That's the name of the plate. That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
I'm surprised they could actually get it a vanity plate with just one letter.
I was about to say, I think in Tennessee, you're not allowed to have just one letter.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
I did see one time, gosh, it wasn't during, it was just on my travels. I want to say I saw something that said it was a DeLorean with the out of time.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Get Out, really?
Thing, but it wasn't spelled the exact same way. It was like they had to change it just a little bit. But obviously as an 80s baby, I was like, it's a DeLorean. And then for it to, have that license plate was perfect.
Yeah, that's cool.
So funny. I don't, every time we drive up to New Jersey or someplace, it's not that I've seen strange license plates, but I see the same license plates. There's always an Ontario, Canada license plate wherever I go. Whenever I'm driving, it's just weird. It just pops up. I know exactly what it looks like too. So
interesting.
Chris? The tough question.
Yeah, I'm sure really I've seen something that it's not coming to mind, but I did see a couple of months ago, I think, you can get all kinds of different novelty plates here in Texas. I'm sure everywhere else as well. But you can get this one where on the far left of it, it has a T, and then it has like a line that breaks it, so you know that's not actually part of the license plate. But it had the T for Texas, and then the rest of it was Etris, so it said Tetris.
Oh,
I thought that was cool.
There we go.
Cool.
That's really nice.
I like that. Ed?
None that have stuck with me, but I always am impressed when I see a license plate from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Or Alaska. You're like, that's a far
you're
away.
rich.
Came far.
Yeah. The car we bought, we took Alaskan license plates off it.
Oh, Get Out, really?
But at least you can drive from Alaska to Nashville.
Exactly.
You cannot with Hawaii.
Yeah, and then it's going to be something like, a Civic CRX or like a Honda CRX or something. You're like, why did you spend that money to get that thing over here?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not
that
they
couldn't have
ship
been
that
cheap.
over here.
It's not a Porsche. Yeah. It's like the price of the car to get it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just buy another one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
Good question. Here's our final question at Calm Fury. My firstborn arrived on Father's Day. Hey.
Oh,
Congratulations. That's awesome.
What are the best games to play on PS4 while on baby duty so the wife doesn't kill me?
Journey.
Oh, good
Ooh,
call.
good one.
Good call.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. I think you just dropped the mic on that one.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to do the rest of the show.
I'll say the Firewatch theme.
Oh, yeah. Firewatch.
Ooh, Firewatch.
Yeah.
Good one.
Chris?
I don't know. Something you could play if you have a Switch. So that way you can be like the baby's in your lap and you just kind of wrap that around and you're like, I'm just playing some games. Something like Mario Kart or
That's
something.
awesome.
Yeah. Tim?
Yeah, man. I think you
Blood and
took
Wine?
mine too. Yeah, Blood and Wine.
Right.
Just joking.
Blood and
Fairy Tales.
Wine.
Yeah, it's got the Fable thing.
Destiny. It's true. It does have the Fable thing.
That's funny.
I mean, if you can jump online, Rocket League. But I'm thinking of like a game that's very easy to play, like one of the Telltale games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that you can kind of play one-handed.
If you need to, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
I'll go with Telltale Batman. That one's fun.
There you go.
Nice.
All right.
That's it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for the
Right.
questions. You've heard all of our talk about E3. So this question is probably a week late, but the question for you guys is, what were you pleased with E3 and what was your favorite thing to see? We kind of talked about it last week, our ups and downs, about what we saw on the floor, what we were disappointed with, what we were excited about. We can give you a refresher if you guys remember. I talked about out of left field liking to see Ni no Kuni 2 on the floor and getting hype for that. Chris, do you remember what you were excited about when it came to E3?
I was excited about the Spider-Man stuff.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ed?
Same. Spider-Man. Even Sarah is excited about Spider-Man. I showed her that the gameplay they showed, and she was really impressed.
Digging that, huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
Tim?
I'm going Assassin's Creed and Far Cry 5.
Nice.
Yes, Far Cry 5. I totally forgot about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know, what were you pleased with E3? What games were you like, ooh, yeah, I can't wait for that? Let us know on everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Thank you, Ed, for kicking up our Instagram, dusting off the Instagram.
I know. I was like, oh, wow, look at this thing.
Oh, yeah,
Crank
we
that
still
up
have
again.
this. Yeah, it's like a...
That's right.
Pop that old VHS tape in.
Last post from 2012.
Had
Exactly.
to put some oil in it.
Yeah. Discord, the forums. Let us know. Use hashtag AnswerMTTG, and we will read them off next week. We will be a couple weeks removed from E3, but it'll be a little nice nostalgia. We'd love to hear what you guys were excited about, so we could join in the excitement with you.
Yes.
We have 50 weeks, almost 51 weeks until episode 300.
Ooh.
Wow.
So that's something to look forward to. It's a little
There's perspective.
1 week less than a year, and we can all be
Nice.
together again.
Yay.
Amen
Man,
and
Mhm.
amen.
that long?
I know,
Yeah.
that long. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? So if Jesus doesn't come back, we'll see you guys at E3.
Well, I've got
At episode
I've got his
300.
T-shirt, so we're good.
Exactly. You do. You can return it to him.
OG.
Hey, you left this.
If he does come back, we'll see you before then.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Oh my gosh. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken. I'm still pointing,
Nice.
I like
As you
it.
should.
even though I'm not with you guys. I got to point
you should.
to you guys last week. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And we are married to the games, and we're up out this thing. Peace!